Hi, welcome to COVID Homeschooling. Today, let's talk about 3 ways to rack up clockable hours. Besides actual school lessons, there are a number of things that count as school. If your kid does any structured activity outside your home, that's definitely clockable hours. That's any lessons they take, music, sports, classes from someone else, scouts. It's things like library events and cultural events. It's going to anything educationally adjacent. The zoo, the science center, museums, historical places, the symphony, live plays. The list here are really endless, so it's super easy to rack up 400 hours outside your home. Here's another way to get hours fast. You can teach overlapping subjects. So if you read a picture book about George Washington, you could count that as history and reading. Or if you did a science experiment and had your student make several measurements, you could count that as science and math. Or any subject and then have your student write about it. That counts as 2 things. And science and social studies are the 2 easiest to overlap with other subjects. So if you want to go this route, you can look at those topics and then make plans from there. I'll cover this in another video later on. The third way to get hours is to see what things you normally do that could be counted as school. So if you have your young child help you make a cake, you can have them practice counting. 1 egg, 2 eggs, and then ask them, how many did we use in total? How many eggs are left? Now that's a math lesson right there, and they probably didn't even realize they were doing school. Or if your student is older, you can give them a smaller measurement than what they need and ask them to convert it. So if you say, I only have a teaspoon, how many teaspoons will it take to make a tablespoon? That's converting measurements. Now just make sure that you know what that conversion should be, or a quick Google search, and try to keep track of those teaspoons, because otherwise your recipe is not going to turn out well. Let's say you go for a walk. That's a physical activity and you can count that as PE, but you can bump it up to being a science lesson by making it a nature walk. And this does not have to be anything elaborate. It can be asking them to look at nature when you go out and then writing about their observations when they get back. It could be taking a notebook or a clipboard and making drawings. It can be collecting a neat object. It can be making a map of your walk, and that would be social studies. Now, you might need to ask them questions to get their eyes used to looking around. Like, what does the sky look like today? How would you describe the clouds? How big are our shadows? Look at the weeds growing in the sidewalk. Why do you think that's happening? Why do you think we only see acorn lids on the driveway? So, there you have it. 3 easy ways to get hours. It's nothing to stress out about.